What's up, guys? So this is a knife I have been eyeballing forever, the Microtech Stitch. So I'm not a fan of autos. I don't dislike them, they're just not really my thing. This knife's different. This knife, I look past that. It's so freaking cool that I actually like the fact that it's an auto. I have been eyeballing this knife, has to be months and months and months until I finally, either when I saw one, I was chasing a different knife, so that money was budgeted, or there wasn't any, and it just so happens that this one, and I wanted one that was like brand new, and this one just popped up, and it was brand new. I also wanted the M390 version, and a few things that I wanted to make sure is what I got. Also, the DLT sticker is out here. It was in the box. We didn't have a sponsor for this video, so I thought, why not? Sponsored by DLT Trading, an awesome trading company. Because I see in the group a lot of the newer guys are asking, where can I buy good retail knives, blah, blah, blah. Well, you can't do much better than DLT Trading. They're a great company owned by a great dude. I don't mind supporting them. They're a credit to the knife community. So if you're looking for a great knife, they usually have it. If you're looking for an exclusive, they usually have some really cool exclusives. They even do Medford exclusives. It's the only place you can buy a Medford with S90V. So anyway, DLT Trading, check them out. So I thought the entire time that I saw this knife posted over and over and over, and you see it a lot, I thought this was G10. Y'all might have too. A lot of you might have too if you haven't had this knife. It's not, it's aluminum. Even after I got it and determined it was aluminum, I was still kind of thinking, I wish that was G10. I just felt like it should be G10. But after having it a while, and realizing the torque behind this thing, I think it probably is a better choice that it's aluminum. And of course, that's why Tony Marfion's a genius and makes killer knives, because he knows that. So I got this knife, even though I loved the design, the way it looked and everything, and I saw great reviews on it, I figured there was a good possibility it was going to be one of these ones I bought, reviewed, kept 3 months, and then sold it. I don't think that's the case. I really like this knife. I mean, I really, really like it. I've carried it. I've had it a couple of weeks, I'd say. I've carried it probably half the time. And that's saying a lot, because I got a pretty good knife selection to choose from. So carrying it half the time is pretty huge. I switch up knives a lot. So the opening on this thing is different. The action is different. The button is awesome. It's like an aluminum. It thrust out there very hard. It's got a very thick blade on it, blade stock. It's got a little weight to it. But it doesn't jump out of your hands obnoxious, and it's not so loud that when you open it in a room, to open a box, everybody in the room doesn't turn and look at you like, what was that? Not that I care so much about that, but there's times you do. You just don't want the attention. So just a killer, killer knife. Aluminum scales with, I've tried to find out if that's a DLC coating. I hope that it is. I don't know if it is. I'm not sure. Everywhere that has it listed just has it as a black coating that I've found. I don't believe this serves any purpose at all. In my dreams, in my wild dreams, that would end up being a thumb opener as a button lock. That would be unbelievable if they would do that. Maybe one day. Also, that would open it up to the market of all these guys who are not allowed to carry switchblades, not allowed to carry automatics. That's perfect. So, but I would be one of the first people in line to buy that knife. I've always been a fan of Microtech and Marfion's. I go through phases where I start buying a little more of a maker than not. Right now, I'm in the kind of Microtech Marfion phase, and I like their stuff, and I always have. I just tend to buy it right now. So One of the things that's difficult about Microtech and Marfion is servicing their knives. If you use them a lot, you get them dirty and things like that. Most of them have the proprietary hardware. Like that. You know, if you don't have that, you're not getting this knife open. I can just tell you that for sure. So I looked around and I found this place had this one for this particular knife, and this place had the tool for this particular knife. And I thought, man, there's lots of sizes. There's different sizes, and some of them go in, some of them go out. The detail on there. I wanted a wrench to do it all, right? So I found this insane thing right here. And hang on one second. Let me actually grab the tool. I thought the tool was in the box. So I grabbed that. I grabbed that tool. And I'll tell you the price here in a minute. You're gonna think I lost my mind, but I grabbed this tool here, and it's Microtech Marfion-esque, right? Microtech Marfion-esque. It's got all the cool lines and what some people call the chicken foot. It's got more bits in here, right? Just really cool. What I thought this takes apart all of their knives. Has a standard, you know, 1/4 inch. You can stick any 1/4 inch bit in there. It's got a magnet, holds it in there. But this is $300. I know. It's just insane, right? But to soften that blow for me, it does all the Microtech Marfion knives, right? So buy once, cry once. Well, not so fast, because it doesn't have the one for this pivot. It has the reverse of that pivot, but this one goes in and this one goes in. It doesn't have the protruding side. So now I'm still on the hunt. That's the only one I have that didn't have a piece to. 90% of the other ones, like that one, the little 3-pin fits the, I don't know if you can see it, the little 3-pin fits the annex, which is a completely different style of hardware. But anyway, back to the stitch. The quality of this thing is Microtech Marfion-esque. It's just solid. Their stuff just has clean lines. That is one of my favorite blade finishes right there. A polished stone wash. I don't think it gets any better than that. Don't make me a $300, $400, $500 knife and bead blast the blade. Come on, we can do better than that. Give me some sexy grind lines, or a polished stone wash, or something, you know, for my money. Let me have something that's nice instead of something that's rough like a chalkboard. And I don't feel like I got my money's worth. Just look at some size comparisons. And get the $25,000 tool out of the way and compare it to the Evo 2.0. You can see it's not a small knife. I mean, it's bigger than what you think when you get it in hand. Let's see, we'll put it up against the Paysan. Love that knife. Love that knife. And one more for chits and grins. A lot of people have this. Not a lot of people, but most people have either seen or held this knife. The Medford Slim Midi Marauder. The Slim Midi Marauder is a pretty good sized knife. So anyway, in wrap up, from a 1 to a 10 of expectations, 8 being it met all my expectations, 10 being it drastically exceeded them, I'm giving it about a 9.5. This knife's going to stay in my collection, and for an automatic to stay in my collection is just not usually done. I mean, it has to be pretty phenomenal. But in this case, it's kind of a self-defense style knife. That's not what I have it for, but it is absolutely functional in that role. So, tactical, whatever you want to call it. If I was pinned in an alley and didn't have anything with me, I wouldn't mind having that. So, anyway, guys, that is the Microtech Stitch. There's also I believe Elmax steel, and there's a Marfione. I've seen a couple of Marfione stitches, but I didn't care for those. They had funky blade finishes, and they just weren't for me. Some people love them, but they just weren't for me. I like my bright, shiny, unfinished blades with the grind lines or polished stone wash. So check it out, guys. The Microtech Stitch. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.